Hello, everybody. We welcome you back to another episode of Spiritual IV, where you can get a short word for your soul today. Today I want to cover the topic: Are we waging the right war? Are we waging the right war? That's our topic for today. And I actually want to read it for you. Have we been so busy fighting battles with other sinners that we've forgotten to wage war on sin? The question is, which one did Jesus choose? As far as I can tell, his mission and his focus was to set the captives free. I often say that, excuse me, he came to seek and save the lost. He came for the real man, not, not the ideal man. And the real man was rotten, evil, and lost. And he didn't come for the ideal man because IDEAL, it doesn't exist any longer. Ever since the fall, there was never an ideal man or woman. And so Jesus came to save the real man. And so in Luke chapter 14, actually, let's go to our key text, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. Luke chapter 14, verse 18 also says, Jesus says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted. I tell you, the enemy didn't want this message out today, but he gets no praise here today at all. It says, he has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, and to set at liberty them that are bruised. Sounds like the world we live in today. John 3:17 says, for God sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. You might know John 3:16, but what about John 3:17? And so it seems to me that we need to be waging a war on the remnants of sin, not on one another. The remnants of sin that are continually at war in the body, instead of engaging in never-ending battles with one another. We desperately need a war on hate. Would you agree? We desperately need a war on impatience, a war on abuse, a war on greed, selfishness, and pride, remembering that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but rather they are spiritual. Again, 2 Corinthians 10, chapter 4 in the NIV says it this way: the weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, we, talking about us, we have divine power to demolish strongholds through these weapons, the spiritual weapons. Policies will fail. Institutions will corrupt and crumble. Role models will disappoint. Leaders will stray off course, but the love of God will never fail, and the blood sacrifice of Christ will never lose its power. You know the song, it says, for it reaches to the highest mountains and it goes to the lowest valley. The blood will never lose its power. Salvation is secured through him. Therefore, he admonishes us, God admonishes us, that in order to push back the darkness and win the war that will continue to fester until Jesus returns, we should do like Jesus and shine the light out of the darkness. You can find that scripture that talks about God shining a light out of darkness. That's found in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 6. 2 Corinthians 4, verse 6. It talks about God shined a light out of darkness, and therefore we can fight each and every battle with love. That's a powerful weapon, trust me. We can fight every battle with patience, kindness, and a blessed hope. We can have accountability, and we can reach reconciliation and a peace that passeth all understanding. If you don't know it, that's the ministry we've been called to, is a ministry of reconciliation. That's found in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 17 through 21. Talks about that ministry of reconciliation that we've all been called to. So I want to encourage you today, when we choose to use weapons, we become authorized and empowered by his blood, emboldened and activated through the indwelling of his spirit, and we become a blessing to those who come in contact with us as we reflect, resemble,
and reveal the character of Jesus Christ. I end today with 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. It tells us, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. I ask again, do you think we've been waging the right war? Let's not fall into the enemy's trap today or at any point and think that we need to fight the same way that the world fights. God has given us powerful weapons of warfare that will tear down strongholds. God bless you, and make sure you're waging the right war.